Recently, a couple of us got to spend some hands-on with a new first-person sci-fi thriller called The Invincible by Starward Industries. This game is a retro-futuristic atompunk game coming out for next-gen and PC sometime later in 2023, and I can tell you this, with my time hands-on and with the trailers that we have already seen, I'm pretty much in. And you should be too. If you want reviews, previews of one-man games all the way up to AAA titles, subscribe and hit the notify all bell. I'll buy a copy of every single game I cover, regardless if the dev gives me a code. These are going to be headed your way, and the next one up is Redfall. Now, The Invincible, it's a story-driven adventure set in a hard sci-fi world by Stanisław Lem. And I'll talk a little bit more about why that matters in a bit. You go to the planet Regis III as a scientist, use atompunk tools, looking for a missing crew, and face unforeseen threats. Make some choices, and decide exactly where the future's going to go. And you do that as Yasna, one of the premier astrobiologists going into space. Now, you and your crew were caught up in a space race and are now on this uncharted planet of Regis III. Think of the old sci-fis of Perry Rhodan or Flash Gordon and the propaganda art from the space race from Russia and the United States as a game, all crammed together to create this fiction. But something goes wrong, as in space it always seems to. And the research expedition becomes this desperate search for missing team members. There's a lot of them spread over the planet, and something has gone really wrong. Now, how wrong? One of the first guys you meet is in a tent making alien and robot beeps and boop sounds. And I can tell you right now, I didn't think that'd be scary until I saw this guy. Invincible gives you scientific items to use, like a metal detector, rangefinder, and other equipment that actually bear a striking resemblance in many ways to Fallout's seminal Pip-Boy. And you almost instantly jet out, beginning to collect information around the world, like the vanishing of Ethan Carter, except here you aren't a supernatural believing investigator, but a hardcore scientist in a place that maybe that science isn't always going to help you out. Almost instantly, you team up with another person on the mission to help guide you a bit and offer a little bit of solace. So this is less like the middle part of the movie The Martian and more like the beginning and the end, which in a way makes the game feel even lonelier, even more desolate. Because the voices are there, the reflections of science of people are there, but like those movies, everything's gone wrong. And add to that the odd feeling you discover across this planet, including ancient research robots rambling around facilities unresponsive to everything, and what looks like at least one ancient alien civilization. The artistic expression in the game is second to none. If you like these older art styles, the big metal and glass helmets, the woven fabric holds of steel tanks, giving you and the game a leatherpunk feel to it. I'm absolutely digging what I've played so far, and the game is promising more interactions and other characters as you continue and start to uncover what is going on the planet. Now, this mix of atompunk and leatherpunk old-style feel gives Invincible a look that is really not something you come across very often. In some ways, it reminds me of the amazing game Deadly Tower of Monsters, except this isn't a fake TV show, it's a real person stuck on a planet. The game's first-person mode offers a very true feeling of desolation and cumbersomeness. You almost instantly get that feeling that the character is intensely qualified to do what they're doing, but held back by everything that keeps them alive. The suit, the habitat, and in many ways the actual human environments and mechanics that you use across the board, and it makes you feel at all times just a little unprepared. Imagine being armed with a spoon and trying to detect what material something is by just tapping it and hoping the sound gives you information. It is a lovely starting, though, to a space detective game. Now, in the demo, I noticed that every move you make gives you that feeling of weight. Every opening of a door, sliding into the habitat, even just talking to somebody or moving one of the instruments. It takes a secondary cumbersome and uncomfortable feel to the game. When you run, even for shorter periods of time, your suit begins to accumulate moisture as the systems are overpowered. I love that stuff, but I do understand that for some people, this game may feel a little glacial. Audibly, it's already pretty enticing, especially the small sounds you hear around the world's environments, or when you first start trying to help that teammate out and you hear him flap his lips and then make a robot sound, and you can't exactly figure out what's happened. I want to talk a little bit about where this game came from, just to be aware that SimCity was partly inspired by his work in the short story Seventh Sally, and Stellaris, one of the most incredible 4X games ever created, was directly inspired by his work and something the creators have mentioned many times. But if you're a movie buff, think about this. Solaris and Event Horizon both are actually heavily influenced by his work as well, which means you may want to suit up for a game that changes tonally into something far, far darker. And we've seen that in some of the trailers. I like this kind of stuff, and if the game can deliver, Invincible might be something truly impactful in that AA space. As far as I can tell, the delivery might also throw some people off, though. While we do see in the trailers later creatures and robots, you are a space woman trapped inside a portable baby Earth spacesuit, and with the head bobbing and first-person movement, this might turn people off when it comes to just organically exploring. We'll just have to see. Technically, the game delivers its looks, but it does have some fits and starts and stutters. Makes sense, it's technically not really even a beta yet, and the demo is a contained spot, but with that trailer information that we have, it is something that just has already grabbed me. I just like the look of these kind of games. In many ways, it sort of reminds me of the EDF robots that you encounter, but in a far more sinister environment. Especially in the face of so many titles, it's hard to see a game and think, that looks truly different, and I can say that at least artistically this does. The team's a AA size, but they have some AAA talent. They've worked on previous games like The Witcher 3, Dead Island, Dying Light, and Call of Juarez. It's just 27 people working on this right now. I'm crossing my fingers on this one. I enjoyed my playtime with it, even though it was a bit stuttery and certainly beta, but what I'm seeing, this is something to keep your eye on if you like these style of games. As you guys know, on this channel, I love to cover indies, the big games, whatever, and this is just one of those titles that I'm going to keep my eye on. If you guys get a chance, check out the Patreon inside of the Discord. Today, we'll be talking a little bit more about my time with Invincible and breaking down some of my time with some of the other games, including Jedi Survivor and all that. If you don't want to join the Patreon, just thumbs up the video. I would appreciate it. Always helps. Spread the word on the channel. Join the Reddit, what have you. Peace out. Gang, gang.